Tonight at 5, the season of renewal.
We think it's been a long time coming.
Spring begins Saturday, the same weekend our vaccination effort expands dramatically.
I'm feeling really relieved and really free.
Is the end in sight? Hear from the people who are finally getting a shot.
Plus, they drove 800 miles so their son could get care.
He's nonverbal. He can't walk. Can't talk, he can't eat on his own.
And now their truck is gone.
So at that point is when we realized that, yeah, our vehicle was actually stolen.
They're left searching for answers.
Kind of a bad welcoming here to the Denver area.
2.5 million Coloradans became eligible for the vaccine this morning. It's part of Phase 1B4, which includes people over 50, people over 16 with a high-risk condition, and a long list of others.
And we have already seen the appointments fill up quickly. The state is opening mass vaccination clinics in Denver, Commerce City, Loveland, Pueblo, Colorado Springs, and Grand Junction. And we just checked this afternoon for you. You cannot get a slot at least either of the metro locations anytime in the next 3 weeks.
Incredible. And restaurant workers are among those who are now eligible and stuck waiting for an appointment.
The state of Colorado is trying to make the process easier. Denver7's PATTRIK PEREZ joins us live to explain that. Patrick?
In Denver. This parking lot right behind me, this is going to turn into one of those mass vaccinations, but it's specifically for restaurant workers, and I'm told that those appointments Tuesday and Wednesday, they already filled up as of noon today, but it's just one of the. It's taken longer than some would have hoped, but restaurant workers in Colorado can now get the COVID-19 vaccine.
It's really nice to be able to, at least have the option.
Pierce McKenna is the general manager of First Draft, a tap room in Denver's RIOT neighborhood.
We've got 40 beers on tap, including craft cider and stuff like that.
For months, he and other restaurant workers across the state have been serving maskless customers, putting their own lives at risk.
And then Adobo's offering Filipino fusion, which is fantastic food.
Now, the hard part is finding an appointment. That's why the state, the Colorado Restaurant Association, and other groups are working to make it easier. That includes several vaccine clinics next week, like the one happening at the Snooze location on Larimer Street and Park Avenue.
Being around the general public for this long and not having direct access to that, it's a sigh of relief, honestly, for us to be able to get in there.
One of the exciting things I think about this particular vaccination clinic is these are the Johnson & Johnson vaccinations, which are the one-dose vaccinations.
Sonia Riggs, president of the CRA, says this is all a step in the right direction as we try to get workers and diners back in.
I think that the more people that get vaccinated, we'll be able to get those restrictions lifted.
And one of those diners is Pattie Gilmer and her husband.
I'm feeling really relieved and really free.
They're both now fully vaccinated, ready to not live in so much fear.
I guess this past week was our first meal out in a restaurant.
She too recognizes not everyone will be comfortable doing so until more people are vaccinated, including the workers.
And Patrick tells us there are roughly more than 100,000 restaurant workers in just the Denver metro area alone, so patience is key here. Now, that is Denver Mayor Michael Hancock receiving his first dose of the Moderna vaccine today. He called it painless and very smooth.
We need to encourage people who have skepticism about the vaccine to get the vaccine. This is how we save lives, we save our own lives, and we save the lives of those around us, is by getting vaccinated.
About 35,000 doses of vaccine given out yesterday. We are expecting the number of daily doses to go up as we receive more doses from the federal government. So by the end of the month, 1 million Coloradans should be fully vaccinated. And we know there are so many questions about the vaccine that we just can't answer them all during this newscast. So visit our website, thedenverchannel.com/vaccines. We are constantly updating our vaccine FAQs with new information, and we do have a link to sites where you can check for available vaccine appointments.
And today the CDC updated recommendations for schools. Students should now be 3 feet apart in classrooms if everybody's wearing a mask. Experts still recommend 6 feet of social distance in common areas like gyms and auditoriums. They're also recommending tonight schools move gym class or other physically demanding activities outside.
The president and vice president traveled to Atlanta today in the wake of the deadly rampage that left 8 people dead, including 6 Asian women.
The admitted gunman targeted massage spas. His motive has been in question, but today the president said motive doesn't matter. Crimes against Asian Americans are becoming too common.
But that has to change. because our silence is complicity. We cannot be complicit. We have to speak out. We have to act.
And Congress is already working on action. They are debating the COVID-19 Hate Crimes Act, which would give state and local governments more tools to track hate crimes against the Asian American community. And the bill has President Biden's support.
Boulder police are releasing more photos as they try to hold everyone involved in the March 6th party-turned-riot accountable. 7 people already have been arrested, and Boulder police say more are pending. They say they've received now thousands of tips from concerned community members.
It has been more than a week since 24-year-old Jasmine Figueroa was found and reported missing, and her body was found days later on the side of an Adams County road. And today, her husband was charged in her murder. 23-year-old Jonathan Nuno Mijangos told police that his wife went out with friends and never came home. But his phone, they say, pinged to a spot near where Jasmine's body was found. And police are saying this is clear domestic violence. The husband had also been reported to police for choking Figueroa in the past. A Nebraska couple drove nearly 800 miles to get some critical medical treatment for their young son, and then their pickup was stolen.
Well, Denver7's Lance Hernandez spoke to the family. They say they just want their truck back.
This is my pickup. It's a 2000 Ford F350. It's a single-wheeled 1-ton.
Aaron and Cheyenne MERITHEW drove to Aurora from South Sioux City, Nebraska, so their son, 4-year-old Landon, could get treated at Children's Hospital.
He was diagnosed at 5 months old as being a quad-spastic cerebral palsy.
Landon gets botulinum injections for pain in his joints. Early yesterday, the family was preparing to head back to Nebraska. They went out to the parking lot at this Red Lion Inn at I-70 and Airport Boulevard to load their truck and noticed it was gone.
At first I thought maybe someone just towed it for some odd reason.
They called police, who checked with Impound. They didn't have it. That's when the couple realized it had been stolen.
Kind of a bad welcoming here to the Denver area.
We just want the truck, we want the car seat, that's the biggest thing.
Aaron, a diesel mechanic by trade, says there was a toolbox and onboard air system on the truck. He said he grew up near the mountains in Central California, so he was looking forward to the trip to Denver.
Then this happened, and it's, boy, way to kick a guy while he's down.
The couple now wondering what will happen when they come back for Landon's next treatment.
Are we going to get carjacked again?
The biggest thing is you're not just stealing from 2 grown adults, you're stealing from a special needs child who needs to have this medical stuff done.
If you see this pickup anywhere with Nebraska license plate 70-506H, contact Aurora Police. Lance Hernandez, Denver7.
Golly, so obviously we'd really like to help this family deal with the loss of their truck and everything else that they're dealing with right now, and I'm guessing you want to help too. So we've set up a fund through our nonprofit, Denver7 Gives, and if you'd like to help the MERITHEW family, go to the Denver7 Gives section of our website, select Truck Stolen During Hospital Care. Every donation helps.
You better enjoy tomorrow's warm weather because there is more snow coming up in the 7-day.
Plus, a small piece of the stimulus is a ray of hope for people with student loan debt.
It can be very stressful to have this much debt.
As Shelby Harris returns to the Broncos, he has a blunt assessment of the last few years in Denver.
We have too much talent to keep falling short.